to our visitors. We have several guests here tonight, several churches represented, and I personally thank you, and I know I speak for First Baptist Church when we say we're happy to have you, glad you're here, and I certainly hope that you will leave here feeling very welcomed with us tonight. You know, the thing that excites me the most about this crowd tonight is the diversity. We've got everybody from the young girls in the youth department to the Christian moms group to the middle-aged and to the seasoned saints. Seasoned saints. Did I do that good? Seasoned saints, okay. But truly, thank you for being here. I'm excited. Now, I will tell you, we're going to be real relaxed tonight. It's going to get real up in here, and it's going to be a good time, I hope. But I really do, you know, my prayer leading up to tonight, and even today and this afternoon before I got ready to come, is that God will use me to have a word of encouragement, a word of hope through laughter and stuff for you tonight. And the main thing is that everything that's said and done here tonight will point directly to Jesus, and that He will absolutely be honored and praised this night. So I do want to tell you, like I said, it's going to get real, and I just want to be honest with you right from the beginning. I have been under a tremendous amount of stress with my job over the last several weeks. A lot of stress. And most of you that know what I do, I travel for a living, and so most of my travel here lately, it's been very heavy, and it's been mostly spent on and off of airplanes. And about 2 weeks ago, I had to fly down on Sunday. All right, what happened? Okay. I guess I better be still. Oh, me. So, anyway, I had to fly down to Miami on a Sunday morning, and the flight from Atlanta to Miami was rough. In fact, it was probably one of the roughest flights I have been on in quite some time. And so anyway, I was so happy to be on the ground that I actually posted something on Facebook about being happy to be on the ground finally. Well, on Tuesday night, prior to my leaving on Wednesday morning to fly home, my oldest brother called. And he said, "Oh, I see you had a rough flight today." I said, "No, I had a rough flight Sunday, and it was rough." And I said, "You know, I don't think it helped matters that I was sitting in the very back of the airplane. That made it worse." And I said, "I'm dreading the flight home in the morning because I've seen that they're already having high wind advisories posted for Greensboro, and that makes me nervous because I'm in the back of the plane again." And he said, "Well, it's already windy here tonight." And I said, "Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of." He said, "But now listen, I have read and statistics show that people who are sitting in the back of the airplane have a much better survival rate in the event of a crash." Really? Well, if that was your attempt at making me feel better, you failed miserably. So, but it was a rough flight, but obviously I made it home. I was so glad to get home. But to continue the stress level that I'd been under, 2 days later I was leaving the house to go run some errands. So I pulled out to the end of the driveway, and I got out of the car to get some mail. And there was an envelope addressed to me, no return address. And on the side, it was printed on there, it said, "Reserve your space with us for a free meal." And I thought, who's trying to sell me something now? And I got in the car and I opened it up. It was from Forbes and Dick. I'm like, are you kidding me? Really? This is not funny. This is not funny. And then I thought, how'd they get my name? And then it occurred to me, Richard Beeson. He called Forbes and Dick and said, "I know a lady that needs a duck lot." So they thought they had a really good sale. But I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, talk about being invited to the Last Supper. And what was really discouraging is they were offering Bill's Pizza. I'm like, my Last Supper meal is going to be pizza? anyway, so we'll move along. But I want to tell you, you know, not only in flying is it just flying in general and how that works, but sometimes it's your seatmates and things like that. When I get on a plane, the first thing I do is I put my earbuds in, and I just want to listen to music and go into my world. I'm not trying to be antisocial. I'm not trying to be rude. I just want to get in my space. And most people are smart enough. They understand that. If you've got earbuds, then you're not going to listen, so they're not going to talk. But recently I sat beside a guy who wasn't that bright. And so he started talking, so not to be rude, I pulled my earbud out, and he said, "Are you leaving home or are you going home?" I said, "I'm going home." He said, "Oh, I bet you're happy." I said, "Yeah, I'm glad to be going home." And he said, "So are you from the South?" I said, "I am." He said, "Oh, I bet you love living in the South, good temperatures, good food." I said, "Yeah, it's nice." He said, "You like to cook?" I said, "Yeah, I like to cook." And he said, "I bet you've been told that you're really good at that." And I said, "Well, on occasion, yeah." So I go to put my earbud back in, and he goes, "Well, you like sports and football?" So I said, "Oh yeah, I'm a big sports fan. I like sports." He said, "Oh, I bet the guys like that." And I like that in a woman. And I thought, so he says, "You know, you sound like a perfect catch to me." And he said, you sound like somebody I'd like to get to know. I bet we'd hit it off good." And I'd had enough. And I looked at him and I said, "Do you like to pray?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "I bet you're getting ready to hear God tell you I'm not the one for you." And I put my earbuds in and I went back to my world. Sometimes you just gotta cut it off. But I'm really tickled that we do have the youth girls here tonight. I really am. And I'm hoping that when you leave here tonight, you're not going to be discouraged by some of the things you learned. But yet you're going to be educated and fully warned. And one of those things is this. When you hear your mothers and your grandmothers and your aunts and the older women in your life telling you how things change, believe them. Just believe them, because they do. And I know I used to be your age and sitting there and I would hear the same thing, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, one of the things that my mother used to tell me, because of the way I ate, she said, "Now, you're not always going to be able to eat that way, so you need to watch it. Your metabolism's going to change. You're just not going to be able to do that." Because see, when I was y'all's age, I could have Krispy Kreme for breakfast, McDonald's for lunch, Pizza Hut for supper, and eating a Hershey bar climbing into bed at night. And it never showed up on the scale or in my clothes. Until a few years ago, I got caught at the red light in front of Cookout and I gained 2 pounds waiting on it to turn green. It happens. It happens. Things come on you real quick like. But one of the other things, and this was probably very disturbing to me, actually it was very disturbing when they told me this, as you get older, you will find that it is nearly impossible to sneeze without peeing just a little bit. I told you we were going to get real in here, let our hair down, be comfortable, okay? So, it happens. And so when you hear them say that, don't sit there and think they're just being funny and want to hear the self-talk. It's true. And the reason I tell you that is because, see, I didn't believe them, and I'm a living example that it happens because a few weeks ago, I was on the way home, and I had to go so bad because I've been drinking a lot of water, and I've been drinking so much water, my eyes were watering, and I needed to go, but I thought I desperately need a can of hairspray for tomorrow morning. I thought, that's okay, because there's a CVS right above my house. I'm in there all the time. I'm familiar with it. I'm thinking, okay, I can run in. It's on aisle 3. I can pick it up. Pay for it, get in the car, get to the house, and I'm good to go. No problem. Well, it wouldn't have been until I sneezed on aisle 2. And all of a sudden, those words came back to my mind, as clear as a bell, the words that those women used to say. It happens. It really does. And see, but I want to just leave you with that. There's good news, okay? And the good news is that as you continue to age, with age comes experience. And you'll look around and some of the senior adult ladies in here tonight have reached the highest pinnacle, the highest level of that experience, because see, they can laugh, cough, sneeze, and pee all at the same time. And they call it multitasking. See, they just get it all out of the way at one time. Okay? But then you have my group, this middle-aged group, and we're all in denial. And we're still just saying it don't happen to us, that's not us. So we do things like this. See, when we're walking along and we get tickled about something and we can't quite get to the bathroom, this is what we do. Oh! See, we just do like that. We be real still. We just do that. We get real still. And if we wait long enough, it'll pass, and then we can get to the bathroom. That's how we do it. And that happened to one of the girls in our group a couple of years ago, Melissa Brantley. And see, she's in Europe. She can't get to me. But we were coming up the hall, and something funny was said, and there she went. Just like that. And about that time, two deacons come around the corner. And see, you know, y'all know we have to help our sisters out. So immediately we said, don't mind her. We had a great class tonight. She is just full, and she was. She's just full and praising now. She's just full and praising. And they smiled and went on. So you gotta always be quick to help your sisters out and stuff like that, you know. But anyway, most of you who have heard me speak in the past, you know that my main two topics are normally weight loss and nutrition. Not because I promote either one, because I complain about it. I had to go from yearly physical, I guess it was back at the end of February, and it was with a new doctor this time. Because my doctor, who I'd had for 14 years, he decided to move to Virginia. I thought that was rude, but he did. And so I had to get a new doctor, and he's in a big practice, you know, I don't really care about that. But anyway, so I went to see him and fill out all the paperwork. He comes in and, you know, I'm sizing him up. Anyway, he comes in and he starts talking and he said, you know, I've read over your paperwork, but now tell me about your ailments. What's bothering you? What's hurting? What are you dealing with? I thought, good, he asked. So I started telling him. He said, now, excuse me, I'm sorry. Is that your list or your grandmother's list? I said, all right, I see right now me and him are not going to have a good rapport. And it was the same old diagnosis. Exercise, eat right, get lots of sleep. I told him, I said, I understand. It's not that I don't know these things, but see, here's the deal. I travel for a living, and I have trouble, you know, doing that. I said, my hours are sporadic. And I said, it's just hard. It's hard for me to do that. I mean, I eat early, I eat late. It's just all over the chain. And he said, so what I'm hearing is you just want me to give you a pill that will make you lose weight. I said, yeah, that sounds good. And of course, that didn't happen. So we go on and he starts addressing each item. So he said, now let's talk about your exercise. He said, now, you know, CrossFit is an overall really good way to lose weight. And he said, have you ever thought about doing CrossFit? I said, I do CrossFit every morning. And he said, really? I said, yeah. I said, every time I get out of bed and get dressed, I look at the cross and pray them jeans are going to fit. He wrote some notes down. And then he wanted to talk about my food. He said, so, I mean, are you getting... I want to know what about your eating? Are you eating chicken and vegetables? Are you getting your protein and your vegetables in? Are you eating like chicken and broccoli? I said, does this look like chicken and broccoli to you? Brother, this is chicken and biscuits. And on a good day, add gravy to the list. I'm thinking he should have been able to look at me and answer his own question. But anyway, and then we moved on. He said, well, what about fruit? I mean, apple's a really good source to eat. And I said, well, I eat apple pie. Does that count? He made some more notes, and he proceeded to recommend that maybe I try something like Slim Fast. Okay, that would be a meal supplement. You know, I could do that, and well, especially when I'm traveling, that would help. It was quicker and a better choice. And I said, I can't do that. I've already tried it. It doesn't work. And in fact, I said, I even wrote the company complaining about false advertisement and recommended a name change. He said, I don't understand. What do you mean? I said, well, I wrote a letter, and I said, I think it's false advertisement. You shouldn't be calling it Slim Fast. You need to do the name change and call it Slim Slow, because I've been on it for 3 weeks, and the only thing I lost was 3 weeks. And I just don't think that's a good plan. And he wrote some more notes down. John and Melissa had a little Dachshund dog named Willie. And I noticed about 3 or 4 days into the visit, Willie's dog bowl. Now, this dog bowl was like a normal dog bowl, but when you looked inside, it looked like it had a maze built into it, all through the bowl. And I'm curious, and I said, what is that? She said, it's an anti-bloat bowl. I said, it's a what? She said, it's an anti-bloat bowl. I said, what do you mean? She said, well, I put his food in there, and then he has to weave through and eat through the maze, and which forces him to eat slower and not take in all the air, hence the anti-bloat. And I said, oh, that's interesting. So I went on about my business, and we'd been home about 3 weeks, and I was out shopping one Saturday, and next thing I knew, I found myself wandering into the Petco. I was just real curious. So I walked in, and this young sales associate walked up, and he said, ma'am, can I help you with anything? And I said, well, I'm just really looking at all your different size anti-bloat bowls. And he said, well, what size do you think you need? I said, well, I don't know. What do you think? Large? Extra large? He said, no, ma'am. I meant, what size is your dog? I said, dog? I don't have a dog. The bowl's for me. I said, ma'am, I'm not sure we have anything here that will help you. I said, what aisle are your muzzles on? I'm like, people just don't get me sometimes. I don't know. Anyway. Well, listen, you know, I tell you, I love to laugh. And I love to make people laugh. Because laughter is healing. And laughter is so desperately needed in our society and in our world today. But tonight, in the little time that we have left, I want to share something with you that I think is as important or just as important and more so than laughter, and that's love. We really need more than that. And I typically don't like to just stand and look and read at my notes, but I'm going to tell you, I feel like the Lord has really spoken to me. He has certainly chastised me, and I have on this lesson and stuff, so I want to make sure I don't miss anything. So I just want to say again that it's so important. And you know, it doesn't matter whether we laugh, we sing, we serve on committees, we work with the Awanas, we teach. All of those things are great. But if we don't do it with a motive of love, and we don't do it with love, it's basically really a waste of time. It doesn't have the same meaning. You know, when I look around the room tonight and I see the different ages, I'm reminded of how very different we all are, yet at the same time, how just alike we are. And here's what I mean about that. We're all different ages and stages of life. The youth, girls, they're just starting out and starting to come into womanhood, and bless their hearts, and they're looking to their future with excitement and anticipation, and you know that includes marriage and children and a family. And then we have the young mothers, Christian moms group here tonight, and they, you know, they're young mothers and dealing with children and raising a family and all the busyness that goes with that. You've got people here, okay, me, single. You do have some who are single again. We have several people here tonight who find themselves in a brand new place. They're dealing with physical sickness, physical limitations, emotional limitations and struggles for various reasons. Grief, sickness, taking care of aging parents, emotional anxieties, you name it. And of course, let's not forget the caregivers. You know, we've got caregivers taking care of others who are sick, family members, moms taking care of children with disabilities and limitations. They're challenges. But the one thing, doesn't matter what group we find ourselves in tonight, the one thing makes us all the same, and that's that we're on this journey called life, and we need each other. We desperately need each other. You know, I want to say this, and I hope you hear my heart, because I said earlier, we're going to get real tonight. And so here's the thing, ladies. We have got to stop shooting our wounded. Okay? We got to stop doing that. We have got to love and forgive and support and encourage one another. And I'm telling you, when I say that, I'm talking to myself, because I'm the guiltiest tonight of when it comes to perceptions and having a perception about a situation or about a person and then even making a judgment. We got to stop doing that. We really do, because I'm going to tell you something. God has really dealt with me on this. Because the truth of the matter is, we don't have a clue what somebody's journey is all about. You've heard the statement, all that glitters ain't gold. And it isn't. What you perceive to be one way, 99% of the time is not even accurate. It's not so. We need each other. We're different. I can't relate to a young mom. I don't have children, nieces and nephews, but this is not the same as being a mother. You know, I can't relate to a lot of people. Others can't. We can't necessarily relate to one another, but let me tell you, we can. I don't have to be able to relate to you, and we're different, but we are still called and encouraged to pray for one another, support one another, come alongside each other and pick somebody up who's hurting, and walk that path with them. We're sisters in Christ. Whether we're the youngest one in here tonight or the oldest one in here tonight, okay? We are sisters in Christ. And like I said, it's our responsibility. It's not our responsibility to judge. It's our responsibility to love and forgive and care, okay? And like I said, we're different. We're all different. But we are commanded in God's Word to love and forgive one another. It's not optional. I want to read a couple of scriptures to you. I may have to do this. I can't even put my head down here. Colossians 3. Listen to what verses 12 through 14 say. And so, as those who have been chosen of God, holy and beloved, put on a heart of compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience, bearing with one another and forgiving each other. Whoever has a complaint against anyone, just as the Lord forgave you, so also should you. And beyond all these things, put on love, which is the perfect bond of unity. And then Ephesians 5, verses 1 and 2. Therefore, be imitators of God as beloved children, and walk in love, just as Christ also loved you and gave himself up for us, an offering and a sacrifice to God as a fragrant aroma. We got to love each other. And I'm going to tell you something, there is a lost and dying world, and time is growing short. And I'm going to tell you something, we're not going to judge and gossip and condemn people to Jesus. We're going to bring them to Jesus. We got to love them to Jesus. I love that video. I'm going to end tonight with a story that was shared with me recently. It's a story about a holy man that was having a conversation with the Lord. And he said, Lord, I want to know what heaven and hell are like. So the Lord led him to two doors. He opened the first door and the man looked in, and it was a huge, big round table in the middle of the room. And in the middle of the table was a big old pot of soup. Smelled delicious. It was just made the man's mouth water. But the people sitting around that table, they looked like sickly and thin and famished. They had these long-handled spoons strapped to their arms, and they were able to get the spoon in the soup, but because of the long handle, they couldn't get it to their mouth. The man just shuddered at the sight of that and at their misery. And he said, the Lord looked at him and he said, you have seen hell. So they went to the next door and they opened the door and they looked in that room, and it was exactly like the first. The room was a big table in the middle of the room, big pot of soup in the middle of the table. The people sitting around the table were equipped with the exact same long-handled spoons. And they were all just happy and laughing and talking, and they looked plump and full. And the man looked at the Lord and he said, Lord, I don't understand. It is simple, said the Lord. It requires but one skill. They have learned to feed each other. Ladies, tonight, we've got to start feeding each other.